That's the lowest temperature I've ever measured. Got a big concern with my battery here. Well, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. It's getting colder. It's minus 12.5 right now. Had a good night's sleep. Had to get up in the middle of the night and switch propane bottles. That's always fun. Expecting it to get much colder now over the coming few days. A thin sprinkling of new snow on the van this morning, and that always makes me happy. Time for morning coffee. Cheers. It's getting colder and colder. Was supposed to be around -9 now. I'm in Oppdal. Gonna drive in and see if my camp is still here. Camp I used last year that I really liked. It's getting really cold now. It's minus 17 degrees Celsius. Let's see how cold it gets. It's very calm now and no wind, so could get very cold. So this is where I like to stay. Let's see if I can get in through this snow here. All good. I wonder what direction I should face. I'm gonna check if there's gonna be aurora, northern lights tonight before I choose my direction. Oh, it's cold. Getting very cold now. I said minus 17, but it's minus 19.3 now. Keeps dropping fast. It's like it drops 1 degree every minute now. It's not even 4 o'clock yet. So while this extreme cold is going on outside, it's time to make dinner. I got some chicken today, and I'm gonna make some chicken burritos with avocado. Well, this is the coldest so far this year. It's minus 23 now. I fear it could get down to minus 30. Now, time for some food here. Get this burrito going. It's been a while since I ate chicken. Nice. Love it. They never seem to be able to get the cold forecast right. When the forecast is cold, it always gets colder than what they forecast. Yeah, it's freezing on the inside of the windows now. That's quite rare. Okay, it's 6:30-ish, and temperature just dropped to minus 27.3 a few minutes ago, and now it's fluctuating back and forth. We're at 10 degrees colder than the forecast, so I need to start making sure that I'm alert, and might have to restart my van a few times through the night now if this is the way it's going. We might be reaching minus 30 if it keeps going like this, and it's kind of weird with the forecast. It only said minus 17. That happens a lot of the times when it's a cold forecast, then it sometimes gets much colder than the forecast says. So I'm gonna restart my van now. It's been 3 hours since I parked. Gonna restart it and let it run so that I keep the engine warm. So I need to show you something here. So the instrument panel says -15. That's always like 10 degrees off. And here I have this sensor outside and it says -25. So usually the instrument panel on my van is 10 degrees too warm, which is kind of a bummer because there's really no way to tell when you're out driving how cold it really is. No problem starting now after 3 hours parked, so I'm gonna let it run now for a little bit. Then I'll just keep restarting it every few hours. It is crazy cold. I'm gonna open the hood and add some insulation so that the heat stays inside the engine. It's 9 in the evening and we got -28 outside. Still the lowest that we got. And the heater is going really hard. I'm nice and warm inside here, but I'm probably using a lot of propane now. Which is actually fine because it's not that expensive. Really excited to see how low it gets through the night. Okay, we had -29. It is time to start the engine again. It's 10:45. It's been 3 hours. Still no problem there. Gonna let it run for half an hour or so. It's -29.3 now. It's quite incredible how cold it got here. Okay, it's a little bit past 2 in the morning. It's time to start the engine again. See how it goes. Well, no problem there. Gonna let it run for half an hour now. Gonna put the alarm on so that I don't fall asleep. It is 6 in the morning and it's time to start the engine again. So no trouble at all getting it to start. Well, good morning. It is 9:30 and it's minus 20 degrees outside. It got down to minus 29.3. That is mighty cold. What a spectacular morning. Well, I better head inside again before I let out all the warm. Well, it's not that warm inside. It's 7 degrees now, but warming it up. That was a pretty cold night. Minus 29.3 degrees Celsius is around minus 21 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's the coldest I've had it in the van, and it worked fine with getting up through the night and starting the engine. So I was able to stay warm and I was able to keep my van alive. I do not have engine block heater, so I need to take these measures so that I can get the van started without straining the engine too much. I also got a Nokian battery starter or jump starter that I got this Christmas, and I have that for backup, but I'd rather not use it. I'd rather run the engine every now and then. So, made my coffee. I'm gonna do some work here, and I'm just gonna look at weather forecasts, and I'm gonna see what it's gonna be like here and what it's gonna be like further north. I might be moving north now, so we'll see. Cheers, my friends. You can't beat the light you get when it's this cold. And the quiet. Okay, it's time to get out of here. It's nearly 1 o'clock and it's gonna stay cold like this for a few more days, looks like. So I'm just gonna drive north. I'm very happy how my van performed in this extreme cold. It's good to know that I can keep the engine warm through a day of this or more. So now it's running like a clockwork. Well, good morning. We got a fresh dusting of snow. It's quite beautiful. And it insulates the van a little bit better. I just have to check that the sunroof with the ventilation is cleared. That'll be the one over there. I'm actually planning to do a little stunt here to clear that area of snow. I'm gonna use the drone. Let's see how that goes. Nah, that didn't really work. I was hoping that wind generated by the propellers would clear the snow around the sunroof over there, but it didn't work, so... Well, nice try. Got my morning coffee and it's snowing outside. A light dusting. It's beautiful. I just love waking up to mornings when it's snowing. I've driven a bit further north. I'm just between Snåsa and Grong now, and I'm making my way up towards Lofoten. Gonna see if I can make a stop on the big mountain plateau called Saltfjellet, Salt Mountain. It's a very exposed and harsh area, so right now it's closed. It's also minus 30 degrees up there, so I don't want to go up quite yet. I'm hoping to stay up there in a few days. Absolutely crazy. And then I'll drive down to Bodø and take the ferry over to Lofoten. That's the plan so far. Plans change with the weather, so I just take it day by day and see where I end up. It's a beautiful cold day. It's gonna be a beautiful drive today going north. Very icy roads here, but it's cold, so it's dry ice. Here's the sand truck. Guessing it is too cold for salt, so they're putting on sand now, which I prefer. There's some mad shaking on these roads. It's all the ice that has been kind of cut up and just creates this checkerboard road basically. So it's just shaking and shaking. This is one of those situations where you should definitely have less pressure in the tires. This is quite a beautiful spot, but it's gonna get super cold here, so I might want to go a little bit further and see if I can find a different spot. There's a spot down the road here where it's gonna be 5 degrees warmer. It's always difficult to decide on these things because sometimes it gets much colder than is forecasted, and sometimes it gets warmer. But this is spectacular. It gets dark in half an hour, so won't be seeing much of it anyway, but that's a cool place, no doubt about that. So this seems to be working very well. I'm able to keep my temperature up inside, and it's holding. Good morning. Didn't expect it to get this cold. Minus 23, that's just a little bit below what I had hoped for. But hopefully my van will start well anyway. Beautiful, clear morning up here now. Gonna start the van and let it run for a little bit. As soon as it gets below minus 20, I'm getting a little bit concerned about starting the van, so gonna get it running now. Oh, it started, no problem there. A little bit slower than it usually is, but nothing to be concerned about. So I'm just gonna let it run until it's getting warm. Start making coffee and get this day started. So now you can see my lithium battery is below freezing, so it's not charging right now. You can see the current and power is at 0, but this should start the heat system inside the lithium battery, so it should be heating up now, and it should soon start charging as soon as it gets above freezing here. Cheers, my friends. So I have this little kind of wellness hack that I use when I'm out here planning stuff and I'm feeling tired in the morning. I always have this rule that I will not plan anything or make any decisions until I've had my first cup of coffee. I know that after the first cup of coffee, my mind changes and I get much more inspired and energized to get started with planning and stuff like that. So I just leave everything out and I just wait until I've had that cup of coffee. So the most important meal of the day. Didn't expect it to get this cold. It's as usual 5 degrees colder than it is on the forecast. Stay frosty. Okay, a little bit of a change of plans. I'm gonna do a little detour into Sweden. Gonna head up over the mountains to Hemmeland, and then I'm gonna circle back to Norway and go up on Saltfjellet, Salt Mountain. It's mighty cold around here now, so I don't know where I'm gonna end up camping for the night, but the plan is to be up on the mountain between Norway and Sweden. So that should be exciting. Wow, what a scenery. Look at those mountains up here. That's just beautiful. And this river, it's smoking. That means that the river is warmer than the air. Nice. Pure ice up here in the mountains. It's dry ice, so it's not super bad, but gotta be careful. It's so cold. So this valley is called Hattfjelldal, Hat Mountain Valley. I wonder where it got its name from. Wow, what an incredible scenery up here, high up under the border with Sweden. Gonna keep climbing up into the mountains and then cross the border and then go over to Hemavan. Just incredible up here. I'm now only like 100 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle, 60 miles south of the Arctic Circle. Not gonna cross the Arctic Circle today, but that's the plan to do that tomorrow, crossing the Salt Mountain. It's pretty far north now, of course, so it's 2:30 now and the sun is going down, which is I would love to have a little bit more daylight so I could see more up here, but this light here, like the constant sunset and sunrise, is just spectacular. So we got minus 30 degrees Celsius again. I got a warning on my drone saying that it was too cold and it was gonna land. So I got it down just in time. That is a new experience to me, but I was always curious how low it would go. So I can only imagine how cold it must have been. Like I guess I was 20 meters above ground, and it's moving fast as well, so probably minus 35 degrees Celsius up there. I'm gonna be late getting into Hemavan. Gonna do some shopping there. It's always cheaper to get good stuff in Sweden than in Norway, and also the diesel is cheaper here. Got about 30 more kilometers to go until I'm in Hemavan, so that's like 16 miles, something like that. But I'm gonna continue back towards Norway because it's just too cold up here. It's just not a good temperature to be camping in the van, and minus 30 is too much. I can do it like I did in Oppdal 5 days ago, but it's not comfortable really when you have to get up in the night and restart the van and stuff like that. Anyway, it's beautiful here up on the mountain on the borderlands between Norway and Sweden, just south of the Arctic Circle. Well, that's cold. That's a new record for me, actually. I put a sensor outside to see how cold it really is. No wonder my drone said stop. Minus 33.5 degrees Celsius. That's the lowest temperature I've ever measured in my van here. So I'm in Hemavan, got some shopping done. It's officially too cold here now. I can feel my transmission fluid is starting to get frozen. It's really like hard to do the clutch and the transmission. So I'm gonna head back into Norway now. I filled up with cheap diesel and some cheap food. I'm just gonna head over to a little bit warmer climate. This is just too much for being in a van. You could feel things starting to go wrong if you stay here too long. So I'm gonna head over the mountains towards the ocean side. The sun has gone down and it might be a beautiful drive. I'm hoping I get to see some, that it doesn't get too dark. What a scenery. You can see why this is named the Blue Road, Blå vägen. You're basically driving towards the blue. So that was a bit much for the battery. Doesn't look like it's been taking any charge today, and when I stopped the temperature was down to -4. It's supposed to have built-in heat, so don't know what's happening here. It's been extremely cold. Now that I stopped, it's up to 0 degrees, and I can see it went up from 13.36 to 13.38 now. So I'll let the engine run for a little bit. It should do better than this with that heat built in. Or maybe it's just too cold. When it's nearly -35 degrees, maybe that's just too much. It's sitting on the floor, so it's extremely cold down there. That was an extremely beautiful drive, and the most cold thing I've ever done, I think. -33.7 degrees Celsius. That's just crazy. I'm gonna set up camp here and the forecast is changing. It's getting super cold really fast now. So let's talk a little bit about safety. I know a lot of you are interested in that and how I solve my safety issues. I have several layers of redundancies. First thing is the van, of course, with the heating system. Number two is, of course, the heating system in the van itself that could be used if you can start the van. I have my cell phone. There's really good service everywhere in Sweden and Norway, so it's very rare to not have cell service. So you can always call someone. You can call the tow truck, which is usually through the insurance company, which is doing a really good job. Another layer I have of safety redundancy is getting out my backpacking and camping gear. I have 2 tents with me, 2 winter tents, and I have 2 sleeping bags. One of the sleeping bags is rated at minus 35 degrees Celsius comfort, and that's a Western Mountaineering sleeping bag. Also, I have all my winter gear with me here, so that includes 2 stoves, one that runs on gasoline and one that runs on propane. I also have winter sleeping pads. I got 5 blankets and 1 winter comforter, woolen sweaters, winter pants, base layers, all that kind of stuff. I got 2 pairs of skis with boots, and I could pretty much be self-sufficient out here in winter land for several weeks probably. I've got freeze-dried food and food for being in the backcountry as well. So all in all, I think that I would be able to survive out here in almost any conditions. So that's my kind of safety net that I always bring with me in winter out here. If one layer of safety should fail, I have another one waiting. Good morning. It started snowing through the night, so it's warmed up considerably. It's minus 7 degrees outside now, and it is snowing. Beautiful. Got a big concern with my battery here. It is still not showing anything. It shows that it's using power now, but it's still at 85%, same that it was at when I went to bed. And I don't know what's going on here. I'm hoping it's just app that's not working. I'm gonna see if I can get the temperature up again, but now it's -1. And that's too cold for charging. Yesterday it went up to 3 degrees and it was still not charging. So I don't know what's going on here. So I'm guessing I have to use my backup power source for the computer and stuff like that. I have an EcoFlow power station. I'm not going to use much of the van's battery for heavy purpose so that I can at least run the heater. So we'll see. I'm gonna go somewhere with internet. I have no internet here, and I'm gonna check on the ScanBet support page and see if I can get any answers there. Well, look here. It's been so cold that the water that was left in my kettle has frozen to solid ice. Huh. It was sitting in a cupboard at the bottom here. And also, and this is also frozen. Wow. Pretty stuff. There's a lot of traffic here yesterday with these cars coming and parking to go to their cabins. Most of them were bringing or renting snowmobiles. kind of concerned about that battery. I'm not very happy about it not showing any numbers that make sense. Let's hope it starts working properly as soon as it gets warm again. It has been extremely cold on the floor level of the van, so that might have caused it. Of course that caused it, but I did expect it to survive with the built-in heat and everything. With all this stuff frozen, my vinegar and my coffee kettle and everything that was sitting on the lower shelves of the cupboard, it's kind of the reason why I do not have any water in the tanks inside my van. Even though I never let it below freezing, I always keep heat in here. Stuff freezes along the walls and along the floors, and you could see with the battery as well. So, you know, if you're going to be out here for some time and know that the weather is going to be harsh, your water is going to freeze in the tanks. The only thing that doesn't freeze is the toilet, the cassette toilet, because that's basically inside the toilet compartment or the toilet room, and the toilet room is the one place that stays the warmest. This is the mining town of Mo i Rana. Just below the Arctic Circle here now. This is awesome. So I got power here. I can try to make the batteries work again if I don't snow in, but this is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So got power over here. Probably gonna be alone here now. Okay, since I now got electricity, I can run this space heater here and just warm up the battery as much as possible so that it'll start accepting charge again. Okay, yes, so that worked. Now you can see the temperature of the battery is 5 degrees and it's charging 231 watts and 16.8 amp hours. So it's gone up from 84% to 85%. And It's gonna take 1 hour 28 minutes to charge. So that's very good. Now I feel relieved here. There's the first time for everything, and this is the first time my battery got so cold, even though it's got heat built in, that it would not take any charge. There's some heating built in that should warm up the battery enough for it to take charge, but I guess it's just been too cold. But now I'm connected to electricity, so I'm able to use this heater on electricity that warms up the battery, and now it looks like it's all good. I was just 1 degree below where it's taking charge. I was kind of worried that I would have to go to the shop or abort my adventure here, but now everything's good. So very relieved now. It's always good to make new experiences, but I had higher hopes for those batteries, but I did not expect to be in minus 34 degrees Celsius. It's a good adventure so far, and I'm super happy with this spot here. And it's a really affordable place to camp. It's 230 Norwegian kroner with electricity, and that is $20. 20 euros. That's not bad at all. It's really cool to be right by the ocean here. Very happy that that problem was solved. It's one of those things that you really need to have in order, your batteries. It's a marina. So no open service buildings, but I still think this is an excellent offer. So I'm gonna put it on my YouTube members map that I post for those of you who are signed up as members on my channel, and also on my Patreon page for those who are signed up there, so that you can find it. It's just outside of Mo i Rana, and it's basically just on the water here, and it's 230 kroner, including electricity, but no other services now in winter. This is my temperature sensor that I keep outside when I'm parked.